Greetings. It's hard to give perspective with my house right next to me, but maybe if I back up, you can start to see what looks like the underside of a boat. Happy Saturday, people. It is July the 23rd, I believe. Yep, 23rd. It's around 5:30. It's about 90 degrees. And you can see we've been doing a little work today. Very, very hot day. I gave out for about 2 hours. Retreated to the house for some air conditioning. And I made a video earlier today. Didn't post it though, because it was too doggone hot and I was working. But just talked about cleaning up the yard, getting ready for my daughter's going away to college party. We're calling it a Bon Voyage party. And we're actually going to have it on the deck. The boat will be raised up. So this is going to be the party area. We have tables and chairs down there. Tables and chairs here. Got my grill. Going to put the food in there. And going to have a party. But anyway, get back to the boat. So as you see here, we did some framing today. Again, it's not giving me good perspective on this. But let me try to step to the side so you can see the very, very slight angle of the keel. You see here we're using the good use of the table saw. These are at 12 degrees miter to get them to make that turn. Like that. Good 12 degrees miter. This one is permanent. These other ones are just samples I'm using just to make sure I got the right degrees on the saw. They're an inch, like 7/8 at the bottom. Need them to taper down to about an inch and 3/8 at the top. So I haven't did that yet, but we'll put a jig on the table saw for next week to get them to do that compound bevel here. So we put the frames on, put some frames on. These took a good amount of time to do. They've got, you can't see it, but they've got lots of cuts and notches. We have a notch here. We have, of course, a notch here. Then we have to relieve this because plywood for the centerboard trunk actually goes on here, so we had to then cut it again for all these sides. And these are probably the most difficult ones around the centerboard trunk. If they're in, they're done. We are all glued and screwed here, so you got a good bead of thickened epoxy there. Didn't get to fill that one because that I only did 6 pumps, but after about 15 minutes it started to smoke. So I ran out, but I'll go back and do fillets on those, like that one, those were some rough ones. I don't know why that one side is so difficult, but anyway, it's like the best one of the day. It was like less than a 16th all the way around. Perfect down to the keel. So these are just screwed in here. These are not epoxied on, because eventually all of this gets lifted off and set somewhere else. So just to review the design of the keel itself, we have post down 1, 2, and 3. Then there are frames that come down from the base up to the keelson, and then this gets filled in with additional 2x8. So let's give you another perspective of it. See how it looks from down here. Not much to look at least through this camera for some reason. To me, it looks like a boat. To you, it looks like some sticks, but I can see it. I mean, just look at the bow and how the front part, or the forward part of the keel has a nice slope. I mean, I like that. I like that a lot. That's very nice. That's not glued in either. It's just sat there as a template, screwed in at the base, but just sitting there. Lots of work there remaining, but that looks pretty good. The way the keel comes down and then it's a nice gradual curve up to the waterline. I like. Let's see what else that was interesting today. That's really it. Besides the ridiculously hot weather, let's go to the front and take a look at it. Cleaning the yard up. An electrician come and do some lights. Had to replace the light on the back of the building today at my house. It's one of those 10-year lights that finally went out. So yeah, not too bad. Let's see. Guess we'll have a sit down now, so we can talk about today. I love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, it is work in progress. I'm enjoying this immensely. I mean, figuring out those angles, use cardboard as a template to kind of get it, then cut it. There's a slight angle. It goes from, one dimension at the top to another dimension at the bottom, a little wider at the bottom, or eventually that'll be the top. So smaller at the bottom, wider at the top, where the keel meets the keelson. Eventually that'll just lift right off. I'll unscrew it. I'll brace them all. I'll put lateral braces across, probably put some strapping, like some 1x strapping on the outside of all of them that lifts off, and I'll probably store it back there. I've got a good 30 feet in between the fence and the tree. Probably build something to hold the keelson. It'll all be wet out with epoxy 2 coats. Oh, did the wedge too. That came out pretty slick. I don't know if you guys remember me working on that wedge, but I did that early this morning before we started doing the framing, while the keel was still laying down, and it came out pretty good. Excellent. I actually just had to use the power planer to plane it down, and it's pretty sweet. So let's see. Here's the plan for next weekend. We are going to finish up those frames. The way it's working out is we're actually going to work tomorrow. My carpenter, Raimundo, is going to work with me tomorrow and try to get maybe another 10 frames done. Now that we know how to do them, it should go a lot quicker tomorrow. Working on the front of the bow took a little bit of time, and it was just so hot. It was just stifling, but we pressed through, and I'm happy with what we did today. Let me show you another little detail. So I designed for these keel frames, right? Come from the bottom of the keel up to the keelson, and then they pass through the keelson. So what you're looking at right there, right, will actually be inside the hull. So the actual framing for the hull gets attached here and will come down, right? So what's going to happen is these will pass through into the hull. They will tie into the floors of the boat and into, well, no, not the floors, actually tie into the frames, because it's the floor, the frame, and then it's the keel beam. So that actually will tie into the structure of the boat too, and so that's really cool. I like that. And this back out here, that'll tie into the structure of the boat. And there'll also be a beam that comes from there into, well, actually it will probably be about mid-span into there. Then there will be a kicker that comes down, and go into a plate that's in the ground. Well, not in the ground, but that's into the Keelson. So that'll give me good support. It'll be this way than the kicker. Because if you think about it, if this keel ever hits something, right, I don't want all that stress just to go back to the centerboard trunk or case, but I want something to actually catch that and take that load directly to the beefiest part of the boat, which is this 8 by 4.5 inch thick Keelson. So still have that to do tomorrow, and work on the shape of the forward part of the Keelson. And we have a party coming up. I've said this before, so I'm going to do some modifications to my shelter here to make it safe, put some rails up. Not the entire thing, just the first 2 bays. And yeah, get ready for a nice soiree in the backyard, in the boatyard. So that's it. How's your Saturday? I hope you were out of the sun, out of the heat if you're in the Northeast, or wherever you are, because I'm sure it's summertime. It's probably hot where you are. But yeah, it was a hot day. I had to actually go in the house. And there's another video of this. I laid on the floor with my daughter and watched Jimmy Neutron for 2 hours. And came back outside. So not as productive as it could have been. But this time last year, this would have been a wash. So that's it. We're building a boat. Until next time, peace and blessings. Also, again, love the comments, love the questions, love the suggestions. I got a really good email from somebody this past week. I'll share it one day. I mean, really, really inspiring. It's from a viewer. I forget where they are, but they're far away from me. But it was really, really cool to get that email. So anyway, until next time, live your dreams and peace and blessings.